Have you ever wondered what really happens to men who live alone, without a woman by their side? Many people assume it's just about loneliness or struggle, but the truth is much more complex and often surprising. Today, we're uncovering the 6 real truths about men who live this way. You might be surprised to see how much strength, independence, and quiet wisdom can grow from living alone. This isn't about painting a sad picture. It's about understanding the reality, the challenges and the freedoms that come with this lifestyle, especially later in life. Stay with me until the end, because by the time we reach the final truth, you'll see this topic in a whole new light. It may even help you better understand yourself, your friends, or someone in your family. Number 1, a life of self-reliance. One of the first truths about men who live alone without a woman is how much they learn to depend on themselves. It starts with small things: cooking meals, doing laundry, keeping the house tidy. At first, many men struggle with these routines, especially if they grew up in a time when those tasks weren't expected of them. But with time, they adapt, and what grows from that is a quiet sense of pride. Being able to take care of yourself every day builds a kind of confidence that no one can take away. Experts say that independence or autonomy is one of the keys to emotional well-being as we age. When a man realizes he can manage life on his own, it builds strength and resilience. Instead of feeling helpless or dependent, many men find a rhythm in solitude that actually deepens their sense of self. Without always having to adjust to someone else's needs or expectations, they come to understand themselves better. Take Thomas, for example, a 72-year-old widower. When his wife passed away, he could barely boil pasta without burning it. But now he's proud of how far he's come. He cooks full meals, tries new recipes, and sometimes even invites a neighbor over for dinner. For Thomas, running his own home became more than just survival. It became personal growth and even a form of self-expression. And here's something important: self-reliance doesn't mean isolation. In fact, many men who live alone become more intentional about connecting with others. Because they're not relying on a partner for company, they choose to reach out, to call friends, join community groups, or spend time with family. Their relationships become more meaningful because they're built on genuine choice, not routine. This truth about self-reliance is often misunderstood. From the outside, people might see a man living alone and assume he's lonely. But inside, many of these men are discovering strengths they never knew they had. It's not about what they're missing, it's about what they're building within themselves. Number 2, a home that reflects his soul. Another truth about men who live alone is that their home becomes a mirror of who they truly are. Without someone else deciding how things should look, where the furniture goes, or what color the curtains should be, their space begins to reflect their real personality. Some homes are simple and quiet. Others are filled with collections, hobbies, and memories. Every detail, from the photos on the wall to the chair they sit in each evening, tells a story about who they are and what matters to them. There's a special kind of freedom in this. Older men who live alone don't decorate to impress anyone. They arrange things to please themselves. Some keep their homes practical and neat. Others finally allow themselves the comfort they always wanted but never made time for. A worn recliner in the corner might not look impressive to others, but for the man sitting in it, it means peace, routine, and belonging. Psychologists say that our surroundings deeply affect how we feel. A home that feels genuine and personal can lift your mood, lower stress, and even support better health. Take Richard, for example, a 68-year-old man who spends his evenings surrounded by shelves of old jazz records. His home isn't fancy, but the walls echo with music and memories. That space isn't meant to impress visitors. It's a place where he feels alive and content. When friends come over, they're not stepping into a showroom. They're stepping into Richard's world. Some people might say that a man's house without a woman's touch feels incomplete. But the truth is, it's just different. It reflects individuality instead of compromise. It's not about matching furniture or perfect decor. It's about whether the man feels comfortable, safe, and at peace. And that kind of home can be deeply healing, especially after years of sharing a space where his preferences may have come second. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now let's move forward. Number 3, a rhythm shaped by choice. When a man lives alone without a woman, his daily rhythm becomes entirely his own. There's no discussion about what time dinner should be, no need to agree on when to turn out the lights, and no debate over weekend plans. Instead, his schedule reflects his own needs, habits, and moods. It may sound simple, but this kind of freedom has a much deeper meaning. A life shaped by personal choice gives a man a strong sense of ownership and independence, something many older men quietly value. He wakes up when his body naturally stirs, makes his coffee just the way he likes it, and fills the day with activities that bring him peace or joy. These small routines create a powerful feeling of stability and identity. Experts often say that having a routine helps maintain mental and emotional health, especially in later years. A man who controls his own rhythm feels a kind of calm freedom that can lower stress and even support longer life. He's no longer adjusting to fit someone else's preferences, and that independence, while subtle, is deeply rewarding. Take Thomas, for example, a 72-year-old who spends his mornings tending his vegetable garden. He says it keeps him grounded and gives him a sense of progress every day. No one tells him he's spending too much time outside or suggests he try another hobby. That daily rhythm, created entirely by his own choices, strengthens his mind and brings him quiet satisfaction. Of course, freedom has two sides. Some men might fall into less healthy habits like staying up too late, eating poorly, or isolating themselves. That's the challenge of independence. The responsibility is fully their own. But for many men, they naturally find balance. Their routine becomes a source of comfort and dignity, reminding them that they are still in charge of their lives, right down to the smallest details. It's not just about what they do each day. It's about knowing that they are the ones deciding. Number 4, a silence that speaks volumes. Living alone often means living with silence. And while some people fear it, many older men come to see it as a gift. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of peace. Without the constant sound of another person's voice, or the TV playing something you didn't choose, a man begins to hear his own thoughts more clearly. He notices the birds singing outside, the sound of his own breathing, or even the soft creaks of the house in the evening. What once felt empty begins to feel meaningful. This silence can be deeply healing. Experts say that quiet environments lower stress, help control blood pressure, and make it easier to reflect on life. For a man who has spent decades in busy workplaces caring for family and meeting other people's needs, silence becomes a form of recovery. It gives him space to rest, think, and reconnect with himself. Of course, silence isn't always easy. There are moments when it can feel lonely instead of peaceful. But the difference lies in how it's viewed. Some men fill their quiet moments with music, others with prayer or meditation, or simply by being aware of the world around them. The key is that the silence belongs to them, and they can shape it into comfort instead of emptiness. Take Robert, for example, a 68-year-old man who says his favorite time of day is early morning. He makes a cup of tea, sits by the window, and reads a few pages of a book while the world is still asleep. For him, silence isn't a void, it's a companion. It gives him time to reflect, appreciate the present moment, and feel grateful for the peace around him. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss our future videos. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Number 5, the freedom to shape your own time. One of the most overlooked truths about men who live alone without a woman is how time takes on a new shape. Without someone else's routines or schedules to follow, a man is free to decide when to wake up, when to eat, and when to rest. Number 5, the freedom to shape your own time. For some men, living alone can feel a little strange at first, even a bit uncertain. But with time, it becomes a deep and satisfying kind of freedom. Time takes on a more personal meaning. He can stay up late watching an old Western without worrying about waking anyone, or wake up early to take a quiet walk before sunrise. Meals can be quick and simple, or slow and thoughtful. Days can be carefully planned, or allowed to unfold naturally without any pressure. This freedom may seem small to others, but for a man who spent decades following work schedules, family routines, and responsibilities, it feels like taking back control of his own life. Experts say that having control over your time is closely linked to happiness and well-being as you age. It gives a sense of independence, a reminder that even later in life your time still belongs to you. Some men even say this freedom makes them feel younger, as if the weight of old expectations has finally lifted. Take Gerald, age 72. He says one of his happiest discoveries was realizing he didn't need to follow a strict routine anymore. If he wanted to spend the whole afternoon tinkering in the garage, he could. If he wanted to take a nap after lunch, no one minded. That flexibility helped him feel relaxed and content. His days became less about meeting obligations and more about enjoying possibilities. Living alone teaches that freedom with time isn't about wasting it. It's about savoring it. It's about finding joy in the hours that once felt controlled and realizing that the best schedule is the one you create for yourself. Number 6, a resilience that grows in solitude. Another truth about older men who live alone is that solitude builds resilience. At first, the quiet may feel heavy or unfamiliar, but as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, many men discover that being alone teaches them patience, calm, and the ability to handle life on their own terms. Resilience isn't only about surviving big challenges. It's found in the small everyday victories, fixing a leaky faucet instead of calling someone, learning how to pay bills online even when technology feels confusing, or cooking a meal instead of ordering takeout. These simple acts build quiet strength. Over time, a man starts to trust himself more. He learns that he doesn't always need reassurance or help to get through daily life. This kind of resilience also builds emotional strength. When loneliness appears, he doesn't panic. Instead, he might pick up a good book, call an old friend, or take a peaceful walk outside. These may seem like small actions, but they're powerful. They keep his spirit calm and remind him that being alone doesn't have to mean being unhappy. Experts often say that resilience is the ability to recover quickly, and for many men who live alone, that skill becomes second nature. Take Samuel, 68. He once feared that retirement would make him feel empty. At first, his quiet apartment felt like a burden, but as he learned to care for himself, doing laundry, cooking meals, and fixing small things around the house, his confidence began to grow. He says that every task he mastered was like adding another brick to the foundation of his independence. That foundation gave him peace of mind. Resilience and solitude can become great gifts. They turn fear into confidence and silence into strength. They remind a man that no matter what happens, he can endure, adapt, and keep moving forward with dignity. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Final thoughts: living alone without a woman is not the sad picture many people imagine. Yes, there are challenges, but there are also many strengths, insights, and freedoms that often go unnoticed. Each truth we've explored shows that solitude doesn't have to mean loneliness. It can mean growth, resilience, and the freedom to live life your way. If you are a man living alone, remember this: your life is not defined by what's missing, but by what's possible. You have the power to take care of your health, keep your mind active, maintain friendships, and explore new interests. You can create a home that truly reflects who you are and live each day with peace and purpose. These truths are not just observations. They are reminders of the strength and dignity that come with experience and independence. The world may overlook older men who live alone, but you are living proof that independence can be powerful. Every choice you make adds meaning and confidence to your journey. You're not waiting for life to happen. You're shaping it. And that is something to be proud of. Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your thoughts inspire us to keep going. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create positive, helpful content for you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.